It was raining again, the kind of rain that makes people hurry and hide. Maya, a young woman in her late 20s, was walking fast. Her shift at the small cafe had just ended. Her shoes were wet, her feet hurt, and her coat wasn't thick enough for the cold. Still, she smiled. It had been a long day, but at least it was over. Maya worked hard. She didn't have much, but she had a kind heart. She always helped others, even when she was tired, even when she had little to give. That evening, as she rushed toward the bus stop, she noticed something strange. An old man sat on a bench across the street. He wasn't moving. He had no umbrella. His clothes were old and wet. People walked past him like he wasn't there. Some stared. Others shook their heads. But no one stopped. Maya hesitated. Her bus would arrive in 5 minutes. If she missed it, she'd have to wait another hour in the cold. But something inside her whispered, "Help him." She looked again. The man's hands were shaking. His head was low. He looked lost. Without thinking too much, Maya crossed the road. The act of kindness. "Excuse me, sir," Maya said softly. "Are you okay?" The old man didn't answer at first. Then he looked up slowly. His eyes were tired. His lips were pale. I don't know where I am," he said, voice weak. Maya's heart dropped. She took off her scarf and gently wrapped it around his neck. Then she opened her small bag and handed him the warm coffee she had saved for herself. "Here, drink this. It'll help," she said. He looked at her, surprised. No one else had spoken to him that day. Not one person. "Thank you," he whispered. The bus rolled by. Maya saw it leave, but she didn't move. Her eyes were on the man. "Do you have family nearby?" she asked. He shook his head. "I was walking, then I got dizzy. I sat down, then I forgot where I was going." Maya took out her phone. "Don't worry, I'll call someone to help, maybe the city shelter." The man nodded slowly. While waiting, she sat beside him. They didn't talk much, just silence. But it was a peaceful silence. 10 minutes later, a small city van arrived. 2 social workers got out and gently helped the man stand. He looked back at Maya and smiled. "You're an angel," he said. Maya laughed softly. "I'm just a tired waitress." Then he said something strange. "Sometimes angels wear aprons," and then he was gone. The next morning, Maya walked into the cafe, tired but happy. Helping that man made her feel something warm inside. She hoped he was okay, but as soon as she stepped into the back room, she knew something was wrong. Her manager, a tall woman named Sandra, stood with her arms crossed. "Maya," she said coldly, "we need to talk." Maya's smile faded. "Is something wrong?" Sandra held up a paper. "We had a complaint. A customer said no one was at the counter for 15 minutes last night. You weren't there." Maya blinked. I helped a man outside. He was old, cold, lost. I gave him coffee and waited with him. It was only a few minutes." Sandra frowned. "That's not your job. You left your post during work hours. We have rules here." Maya's voice cracked. "But he needed help." Sandra didn't soften. "We can't run a business with emotions. You're fired, Maya." Shock. Silence. Pain. Maya stood frozen. Fired? For helping someone? Her hands shook. Tears filled her eyes, but she didn't cry. She simply nodded, took off her apron, and walked out. It was still raining. She had no umbrella. Maya couldn't sleep that night. The voice on the phone kept echoing. In her mind, "I heard what you did yesterday. I'd like to meet you." But who was it? How did they know about the old man? And what did they want from her? The rain had stopped, but inside Maya's heart a storm was growing. She had no job, no money, no answers. Only one thing: hope. A new morning, Maya woke up early. She wore her cleanest shirt and pressed her pants. She had no fancy clothes, but she tried her best to look professional. At exactly 8:45 a.m., she stood outside a tall glass building. It was the kind of place she had never entered before. Rich people walked in and out. Expensive cars stood outside. Maya looked down at her old shoes. She felt small, out of place. But then a young man in a black suit walked toward her. "Miss Maya Carter?" he asked. "Yes," she replied nervously. "Follow me. Mr. Howard is expecting you." The office of power. The elevator climbed to the top floor. Maya's heart beat faster with every second. When the doors opened, she stepped into a large office filled with light and silence. Expensive art hung on the walls. There was a wide desk, but no one behind it. Then she heard a voice from the window. "I was wondering if you'd come." Maya turned and froze. It was him, the old man from the bench. But he didn't look lost. Now. He wore a sharp gray suit. His hair was neatly brushed. His eyes were calm, wise. Maya couldn't believe it. "You," she whispered. The truth revealed. The man smiled gently. "My name is James Howard," he said. "I'm the founder of this company. I built it from nothing. Then I retired a few years ago." Maya stared in shock. "You were the man in the rain?" He nodded. "That day I was doing something I do once every year. I dress like a homeless man and walk around the city. I watch how people treat me." "Why?" Maya asked. "Because when I was young and poor, people treated me like trash. I promised myself if I ever became rich, I'd never forget how it felt to be invisible." He paused, then looked at her. "Out of all the people that day, only you stopped to help me." Maya's confusion. Maya didn't know what to say. "I just did what felt right," she said softly. "But I lost my job for it." Mr. Howard raised his eyebrows. "You were fired?" She nodded. "I gave you coffee and stayed with you. My manager said that's not my job. So, they let me go." Mr. Howard frowned. Then he chuckled softly. "Interesting. You got punished for being human." He walked over to his desk, picked up a folder, and handed it to her. A surprise offer. "Read this," he said. Maya opened the folder. Inside was a contract. Her eyes widened. Position: Operations Manager Department, new cafe chain, pilot branch. Salary: $68,000 a year. She looked up, shocked. There must be a mistake. "I'm not a manager. I only served coffee and cleaned tables." Mr. Howard smiled. "But you managed to do something many people can't. You showed compassion even when it cost you. You acted like a leader. That's what I'm looking for." Maya felt her hands shake. This was everything she needed. A good job, a second chance. But deep inside, fear whispered, "What if I fail? What if I don't belong?" She looked at Mr. Howard. "I'm scared," she admitted. He nodded. "Good. That means you're taking it seriously." He stepped closer. "I'm giving you a chance, Maya. Not because you're perfect, but because you're real. You've lived the struggle. You know what it means to fight." He handed her a pen. "Will you take the job?" The decision. Maya looked down at the contract again. Her old life flashed in her mind. Long hours, rude customers, bills piling up, her sick mother sleeping in the next room. She thought about the old Maya. Then she looked at the new one, the one standing in a tall office, being offered a chance no one expected. She picked up the pen, and she signed. The ending moment as she handed the folder back, Mr. Howard smiled again. "Welcome, Maya. You start tomorrow." She stood to leave, but turned and asked, "Why me? Why not someone with more experience?" Mr. Howard's eyes softened. "Because experience can be taught, but heart is rare." The sun was shining, but Maya's heart was full of clouds. It was her first day as a manager. She stood outside the new cafe, Mr. Howard's latest project. The building was modern, the windows clear and shiny. A big sign above read, "Howard's Brew, opening soon." Maya took a deep breath and walked in. Not what she expected. Inside, the staff was already waiting. There were 5 people, 2 baristas, a cashier, a cleaner, and a chef. They looked up as Maya entered. Some smiled politely. Some didn't smile at all. A tall woman with red hair crossed her arms. "Are you the new manager?" she asked. Maya nodded. "Yes, I'm Maya." The woman smirked. "You don't look like a manager." Everyone laughed, except Maya. Her hands shook, but she didn't show it. "Stay calm," she told herself. "You earned this." The first meeting, Maya called everyone for a quick team meeting. "Good morning, everyone," she began. "I know I'm new. I come from working in a small cafe. I'm not here to boss anyone around. I'm here to work with you." The room stayed quiet. Then the red-haired woman spoke again. "I'm Tina, by the way. I've worked in cafes for 10 years. Just so you know, I trained managers before." Maya smiled politely. "That's great, Tina. I'd love to learn from your experience, too." But Tina just rolled her eyes. A rocky start. The day was tough. Orders came in, machines broke, the kitchen ran out of milk, a customer spilled coffee and slipped. Maya tried to handle everything, but the team didn't listen much. Tina kept correcting her in front of others. "Wrong form, Maya. That's not how we label the cups. This system is a mess." Maya felt smaller and smaller. During lunch break, she went to the back and sat alone. She felt like crying. "Maybe I'm not good enough," she thought. "Maybe I don't belong here." A voice of support. Just then, someone knocked on the door. It was Jacob, the quiet cleaner. A young man with glasses and kind eyes. He held a tray of tea. "Thought you might need this," he said. Maya smiled weakly. "Thanks." Jacob sat down beside her. "I saw what you did today. You didn't give up, even when it was hard. That means something." Maya looked at him. "Do they all hate me?" He shook his head. "No, but they're unsure. They've had bad managers before. They're testing you. The surprise visit later." That afternoon, a luxury car pulled up outside. Everyone turned to look. The door opened. Mr. Howard stepped in. The team stood up straighter. Maya's heart dropped. Was he here to check on? The second day began more quietly. The staff arrived on time. No one rolled their eyes, but no one smiled either. Maya stood behind the counter, tying her apron. She was ready to try again, stronger this time. "Today," she told herself, "I will win at least one heart." A rough start. Tina was still cold. She gave short replies, refused to follow Maya's schedule. And when a customer asked for almond milk, Tina said loudly, "We're out! Blame the manager!" Maya stayed calm. She walked to the customer with a smile. "I'm sorry. Give me 5 minutes. I'll get it for you." She ran to a nearby store, bought the milk with her own money, and brought it back. The customer was happy, but Tina just scoffed. "You're too soft," she muttered. "Managers don't chase after milk," Maya replied gently. "No, but humans do." The surprise message at lunch. Maya sat outside with her notebook, planning tomorrow's schedule. Just then, her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "You handled that very well. Proud of you. Mr. H." Maya smiled. She didn't know he was watching. But now she knew. Someone believed in her. Small acts, big changes over the next few days. Maya started doing little things. She brought extra gloves for the kitchen staff. She helped the cleaner take out the trash after closing. She praised the baristas when they made beautiful latte art. She gave Jacob, the cleaner, an extra break when he looked tired. At first, no one said anything. But slowly, things started to change. Breaking the ice one evening, Maya stayed late to clean the storage room. To her surprise, Leah, the cashier, walked in. "Need help?" she asked. Maya smiled wide. Together, they sorted cups, cleaned shelves, and shared stories. Leah finally said, "You're different, Maya. Most managers only bark orders." Maya replied, "I used to be one of you. I haven't forgotten how it feels." Leah nodded. "I think the others are starting to see that too." Tina's breaking point, but not everyone was happy. Tina grew more distant. One day, she saw Maya laughing with the staff, and she snapped. "This is a cafe, not a family reunion," she said angrily. "You can't run a place by being everyone's friend." Maya looked at her calmly. "I don't want to be everyone's friend. I want to be someone they trust." Tina shook her head. Trust doesn't make profits. But she was wrong, because that week, sales doubled. The numbers speak. Customers came back again and again. They told others about the kind new manager. They loved the warm welcome, the smiles, the care. One woman said, "This place feels like home." Even Mr. Howard called. "You've tripled our reviews in a week," he said, impressed. "People don't just come for coffee, Maya. They come for you." A secret meeting, but Tina wasn't done. Late one night, she called someone. "She's ruining the system," Tina whispered into her phone. "She's not a real manager, just a lucky girl with no skills." The voice on the other end replied, "Then make her fail. She won't last long." Tina smiled. The setup, the next day, Maya arrived early. The morning rush was smooth, but something felt off. Tina was too quiet, too polite. Then, during lunch, a customer stood up and shouted, "There's glass in my sandwich!" Everyone froze. Maya ran to the table. She saw a small shard. Just one. The customer was angry. The staff was shocked. Tina crossed her arms. "This wouldn't happen with a proper kitchen check," she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. Maya's hands shook. Her heart sank. Maya's hands trembled as she picked up the glass shard from the customer's plate. The cafe went silent. Customers whispered. Staff stared. Tina crossed her arms and said coldly, "This is dangerous. Someone could have gotten hurt." Maya tried to speak, but her voice cracked. I check everything before service. This shouldn't have happened." The angry customer stood up. "I'm calling the health department." He stormed out, leaving. Maya frozen. One moment ago, everything was perfect. Now, it was falling apart. The accusation. Later in the staff room, Tina called an emergency meeting. "This is serious," she said loudly. "We can't have a manager who ignores safety." Some team members nodded slowly. Maya spoke softly. "I didn't ignore anything. I checked the food myself." Tina raised her eyebrow. "Then who do we blame?" Maya looked at everyone. No one met her eyes. Even Jacob stayed silent. She felt alone again, just like her first day, just like when she got fired for helping a stranger. Mr. Howard calls that evening. Maya's phone buzzed. It was Mr. Howard. "Maya," he said, his voice serious. "What happened today?" Maya explained everything honestly. "I didn't place that glass. I would never risk someone's safety." Mr. Howard was quiet for a moment. "I believe you," he said, "but I have to investigate. There's too much at stake." He paused. "You're suspended for now, just until we find the truth." Maya felt like the ground had vanished under her feet. Suspended again? Back to the park. The next day, Maya sat on the same park bench where she once helped a stranger in the rain. Now she was the one needing help. A pigeon landed nearby. She smiled sadly. "Funny," she whispered. "When you help someone, you lose your job. When you work hard, you still lose it." Just then, a familiar voice spoke. "You're not lost, just tested." Maya looked up. It was Jacob, the cleaner. He held 2 cups of coffee. "I saw something," he said quietly. "I didn't know what to do, but now I do." The hidden camera. Jacob told Maya everything. He had been sweeping near the kitchen when he saw Tina bend over the sandwich tray. She placed something quickly, then walked away. Jacob didn't think much at the time, but now it made sense. She said, "You up?" he said. "I think she's been trying to push you out." Maya's eyes widened. "But how can we prove it?" Jacob smiled. "I checked the security footage. And guess what? Truth comes to light." The next morning, Maya and Jacob went to Mr. Howard's office. They showed him the video. It was clear. Tina was caught placing the glass. Mr. Howard was silent for a moment. Then he stood up slowly and said, "I gave her chances. But this is evil." He turned to Maya. "You're not suspended anymore. You're going back with full authority." The confrontation. Later that day, Maya walked into the cafe. Tina was behind the counter, pretending nothing happened. Maya stood tall and said calmly, "Tina, we need to talk, in my office." Inside, Maya played the video on her tablet. Tina's face turned pale. "You can't prove it was me," she snapped. Maya looked her in the eye. "Don't lie." "We all know the truth now, including Mr. Howard." Tina tried to speak, but words failed her. Justice served. Tina was removed the same day. The team felt shocked, but also relieved. Jacob smiled and said, "About time." Leah, the cashier, came over and hugged Maya. "I'm sorry I didn't stand by you earlier," she said. "You didn't deserve that." Maya smiled back. "It's okay. Sometimes we have to walk alone until the truth walks in with us." A stronger team. Over the next few days, things changed. The cafe grew busier. The team grew closer. Maya earned real respect, not through fear, but through honesty. Even the angry customer returned. He apologized. He had been sent by someone else, paid to cause drama. Maya didn't chase revenge. She chased growth, and she was finally winning. Month had passed since Tina left. The cafe was now full of life. Every morning, customers lined up before opening. The staff worked like a real team. Laughter filled the kitchen. Smiles met every cup. And Maya? She finally felt at peace. "This is what I dreamed of," she whispered one morning. "A place full of warmth, like a second home." But peace doesn't last forever. Storms return when you least expect them. The letter one rainy evening, as Maya was closing the register, a delivery man entered. He handed her a white envelope. No name. No return address. Maya opened it slowly. Inside was a single typed sentence. "You stole my job. Now I'll take everything from you." Her hands froze. Her heart beat faster. Who sent this? Tina. Someone else. She looked around. The street outside was empty, silent, wet. But something had changed. Something dark was coming. Strange things begin. The next day, odd things started happening. The morning coffee machine overflowed, flooding the counter. The register reset, wiping the day's earnings. A shelf mysteriously collapsed, shattering expensive syrup bottles. Maya checked everything twice. No mistakes. But problems kept happening. Jacob whispered, "I feel like someone is trying to ruin us." Again. Maya nodded, eyes scanning the cafe. "Is Tina back? Is someone inside working against me?" The phone call. That night, Maya received a call from an unknown number. She hesitated, then answered. A woman's voice spoke, cold, sharp. "You think you won. You didn't. This cafe doesn't belong to you. You're just pretending." Maya stayed silent. The voice continued. "You took what wasn't yours, and now I'll take it back." Then the line went dead. Maya stood frozen in her kitchen, her phone still in her hand. This was no prank. This was war. Team trouble tension began building inside the cafe. One morning, Leah arrived late and blamed Maya. "I wasn't told about the schedule change," she said. But Maya had texted her. She showed the message. Leah frowned. I never got it. Then the power went out for 15 minutes. The fuse box had been tampered with. Everyone grew nervous. Some whispered, some doubted. Is Maya losing control? Can she really lead us? Maya heard it all, but said nothing. She knew she had to. Stay strong, even when the storm hit hardest. Unexpected help. That evening, Jacob approached Maya again. I stayed late last night, he said, and I saw someone outside, near the back door, wearing a hoodie. Maya's eyes widened. Could. You see their face? Jacob shook his head. No, but they were watching, like they were waiting. Maya nodded slowly. Then let them wait, she whispered. We'll be ready. The plan Maya set up a small security camera inside the cafe. She didn't tell anyone except Jacob,